Class, hello. Wala na iba. Okay, so anyway, like for example, let's see. Update module, insert form. Process. Okay, so for example, let's try database collection. So let's go now to localhost, PHP, my admin. Limpayos. At nawala na iba.
Present, sir. Present.
Okay, good. Kala ko wala nang kwan. How about Nares? Sir Nares.
Sir, present.
Okay, good. Okay, so a quick demonstration on how you will connect your PHP to your database. So for example here, so let's try to create a database. Name student. Student DB. So that's the name of the database, student DB, and then let's try to create a table, name information, about 3 columns. Go. For the first column, we have ID, and our ID is auto increment. Next is we have the first name, and then we have the last name. Text, save. Okay. So that is our database, the structure of our database, student DB, the name of our database, and then information, the name of our table, and then we have the following columns. We have the ID, first name, and then we have the last name. Next. So here, let's try to create muna our create form. So this is the code for the create form. Okay. Example this one. Copy. Then in our drive C, sump htdoc. Then let's create a new folder, student information. Okay, and then we'll create a file using the sublime, for example. Save drive C, sump htdocs, then student information. Okay, so for example, this is our create that PHP. Then let's try to copy this one. Copy and paste. So we have here input type text. So for example, this is the F name for the first name, and then The second one is L name for the last name. Let's change last name, then first name, for example. Then let's try localhost, then the name of the folder, student information, create. So we have here the first name and then we have the last name. So once we put some data in there and then we click save, then possibly it will save it in our database. Student information, stud info, no. Saan na yun? Databases, student DB. Yeah. Okay, first name and last name. So once we click this one, okay, when we click the submit button, it will go to the create process.php. So we will create another file. Okay, new file, save, name is create process.php, then save, and our create process, so this is the command for the create process, create process.php. There, you just copy, then paste. So let me discuss. Okay, so first we need to know how to connect our database. So we have here the database connection. So database connection. So this is our database connection. So let's try to create a new file. Save. So the name is database connection.php. Save that php. Okay, so this is our database connection. Okay, so this is the command MySQL connect localhost. So this is the default root, this is the password, this is also default, and this is the username, and then we have the password. Okay, so in our PHP, I mean in our localhost, you can see here the privileges. Okay, for example, student DB. Yeah, we have here the privileges, and then we have different access. Okay, a different user. So we're using this one, localhost. The username is root, and then the password is none. And then next is we have the database name. So the database name is student DB. Okay. Databases, student DB. This one. So this is the database, copy, and then paste. There. So student DB. So it should be the same. Pareho, student DB, student DB. Okay. Then next is we have the create process. So like I said, when you click the save button, it will go to the create process.php, which is this one. Okay, so for example, so what we need is our database connection, which is this one. This is our database connection. Then next is these are the variables. So for example, we have the first name, and then we have the last name. Okay, then this one, this is the variable, and then for this one, okay. So in our create form, we have the name, f name, copy, then in our create process, paste, and then as well as for the last name, l name, copy, and here paste l name. So if you notice, our method is post. Okay, so in our create process, we are using this command, post, and then we have the query. So we have the MySQL query con, where we get our con in our database connection, that is con. Okay, con. So con, then we have the query insert into, this is the name of the table. Okay, so we have the student database, student DB, and then we have the table name information. So this is the table name, and then we have the fields column. For the column, we have the first name, and then we have the last name. Okay, first name, and then we have the last name. Okay, then here, this is the variable. We have first name, f name, and then we have l name. Same there. So insert into information, column, first name and last name, first name and last name, and our values are from this one, variable f name and then l name, where it is connected to our form. So we have f name, so in our input type, the name is f name, and then we have another one, l name, this one for the input type, l name. Save, then let's try database connection and create module. Refresh, first name, yes. Save. Oh. Server port 80. There. Cut nag-error. Read form. Sorry. Redirect read form. But we don't have any yet read form. Okay, so let's delete that one. Okay, so that is for now. That is the create module. Like I said, first you will create the form. So this is the create form. Okay, then next is the database connection. We have the host name. So like I said, in our privileges, for example here, click the database and then click the privileges. So you have the list of user. So we are using the local host, that is the host name. Okay, host name, then this is the username, root, and then the password none, it's empty, and then the database name. So the database name is student DB there. Then next is, like I said, when you click the save button, it will go to the create process.php. Okay, so this is our create process.php. Okay, so first we need to include the database connection. So this is our database connection there. Then create a variable that will hold the data from our form. So in our we have two input text box here. Okay, so we have we have here the f name, input type text, and then we have another input type text, then the name of that input or the text box is l name. So f name and l name. So in our create process, we have f name and then we have l name, and then we have the query. First you need to declare the database connection. We have a variable here. So when you take a look at the database connection.php, we have a variable con, $con. So in our create process, we have $con, and then we have the query. So insert into table name information. So in our database, this is the name of our table information. Then we have the first name, columns, first name and last name. We have first name and then we have last name. Okay? Then the values are from our variable fname and lname. So when you run your program, just go to localhost, then the name of the folder, student information. Okay, student information, and then click the create.php. Okay, so let's try Maria Aquino. Save. So once you save, click save, then it will go now to our database. So yeah, Maria Aquino. Okay, so do you have any question?